We've gone through a lot of options of different brands, different types, different tiers, different products. The question you've all been waiting for is, what oil do we want to put in our car? And the answer is... When it comes time to change the oil in your car, it can be a little overwhelming picking the right oil. I mean, have you ever been down the oil aisle in an auto parts store? It's crazy. There's a million brands and types to choose from. And the thing is, they all claim to be the best for your car. Luckily for you, today I'm cutting through the noise and I'm giving you the ultimate conclusion on the best oil you should buy for your car, no matter what you drive. And stick around to the end, because on top of that, I'm gonna give you a bonus tip on oil filters that could save you a ton of hassle and time. When talking about oil, there's a major category we have to break down first, and that is conventional versus synthetic. You'll see most of these bottles have the synthetic label on them. Well, what does that mean? Without getting into the weeds too much, basically, we've been pulling oil out of the ground, taking out the dinosaur bones and chucking them in our Model Ts for a long time. And over the years, the process has gotten better. But then at one point, they figured out they could take that petroleum and they could take it to the lab and do all kinds of crazy stuff to it and make it significantly better. So now we have synthetic lab-made oil that resists heat better, that can go longer before it breaks down and have to be replaced, like better on a molecular level. Now you can still buy conventional motor oil, like this one here, and people used to do that a lot because it was significantly cheaper than synthetic. Nowadays, the price difference has gotten a lot less, and you can see here, this O'Reilly's brand, there's only $1 difference between the conventional and the synthetic motor oil. So since the price difference isn't really that big, and you would have to change conventional oil more often anyway, there's really no point in buying the conventional. At least I definitely don't. Before we move on, there are a couple synthetic oil myths you may have heard. One, that you can't put synthetic oil in old cars, whatever old cars means. That's just not true. And another one is that once switching from conventional to synthetic, you can't switch back to conventional oil because you don't want to mix them. In fact, they sell a product called Synthetic Blend, which is synthetic oil and conventional in the same product. It's just no one ever bought it. Now, the next choice you're going to have to make when choosing an oil is what brand? There's so many colors. There's the big name brands, like your Mobil Ones, your Valvoline, Royal Purple, Castrol, Pennzoil. You've also got all the store brands. So you've got the O'Reilly brand oil, Costco's Kirkland brand oil, Walmart's SuperTech oil, and Amazon Basics oil are all made by the same company. And guess what? That same company makes some of Mobil One's products as well. Same thing goes for auto parts stores brand oils, such as your O'Reilly's or your Napa's. Those oils are actually manufactured by the same companies that are producing oil for some of the big boy name brands. So there's actually less choices than they want you to believe. So I'm probably going to tick a lot of people off when I tell you that the best brand of oil you want for your car is the one with this little circle logo on the back. So this little donut logo just means that the API, or the American Petroleum Institute, has given its stamp of approval. And the API is the trade organization that sets oil production standards in the US. So if you've got this stamp on your oil, you're good to go. Now, the API is an American organization, so if you're getting your oil in other countries besides the US, there's going to be another organization that does the same thing. Now, even if you do choose a brand of oil that you want to use, you're still faced with all kinds of features and options and tiers of quality within that brand. For example, this one is a full synthetic for high mileage vehicles. This is an extended performance. And this is not just normal Castrol, this is Castrol Edge. So it can get pretty confusing pretty fast. But here's the thing, in my opinion, most of this stuff is just marketing. So let's talk about some of the more common products that they offer. A lot of these brands have high mileage oils. So this is oils for vehicles that they're saying are 75,000 miles or more and maybe leak a little oil or burn a little oil. All that is an additive in the oil that's designed to make the seals swell up a little bit so that they seal off the oil and keep it from leaking. So in my opinion, it'd be better to save the money, just get the normal oil and get an additive to put in your oil to do the same thing. Another type of oil you'll see out there that's just my favorite is they offer high efficiency oil that's supposed to make you have better gas mileage. All that is a thinner oil. You'll usually see it in 0W or 5W weights. So they're charging you more for thinner oil. Another thing you'll see within a brand is that there'll be different tiers. For example, in this SuperTech, you have full synthetic, and then you also have the advanced full synthetic, which costs more. Now, what's the difference between the two? The advanced full synthetic is probably going to have more of their proprietary additives that may offer to eliminate sludge in your engine or get rid of carbon deposits or whatever. And then also often the more expensive advanced ones will offer a longer oil change interval. Like you can go farther before the oil breaks down and you have to change it. Now, in my opinion, these higher tiered oils that all these different brands offer is mostly marketing and aren't worth the extra cost. And I'll get into why in a minute. Now, another big topic that's super important when it comes to choosing the type of oil that you buy is oil change intervals. Like how often should you change your oil? For years and years, the gold standard was 3,000 mile oil changes. We were using the old conventional oil. Now, fast forward to today, we've got brands offering an oil change interval of 20,000 miles, which is crazy. Now, what gives with that? Even if the claims are true, is it a good idea to wait 20,000 miles before changing the oil in your car? To answer that, let's first look a little deeper into this 20,000 mile claim. As you can see here, there's a big asterisk after guaranteed. Under the asterisk is included, this only counts for normal driving conditions. What's normal driving conditions? Another thing it says is that you have to make sure that you're using the correct oil filter that can handle that 20,000 mile interval. Another thing it mentions is that you could potentially void a new vehicle warranty by waiting 20,000 miles to do an oil change. I find that a little interesting. Now, besides the fine print, there's a couple other considerations that I think are even more important when talking about these high mileage claims. Every engine, even ones running amazing motor oil, have debris inside, whether that's microscopic metal fragments from normal wear, or it could be dirt or something that came in from a dirty air filter or something. Well, the problem is when that stuff is circulating around inside, it's not good for your engine. If you wait 20,000 miles before you change your oil, even if the molecular structure of the oil is still good, and even though your filter is supposed to be catching all that debris, it doesn't get everything. That's a lot of debris that's collecting inside that oil that is potentially damaging to your motor. Most of us struggle to remember to check our oil on a regular basis already. But if you tell me I can wait 20,000 miles before I even have to think about an oil change, do you think that's gonna make me check my oil more or less? It's like a free pass to ignore maintenance. Well, what if you put that 20,000 mile oil in your car and 4,000 miles down the road, you spring a little oil leak somewhere? If you're not seeing a drip on the pavement, how are you gonna know it's leaking? I mean, you've got 16,000 miles to go before you even think of checking your oil. So you may not even know until your oil light goes on your dash, and by then the damage may have already been done. What a lot of people don't realize is that every motor burns engine oil internally. Some manufacturers have even said that it's normal for their cars to burn a quart of oil every 2,000 to 3,000 miles. If you go 20,000 miles without changing your oil, at that rate, there wouldn't be anything left in your engine. That's not good. So while a 20,000 mile oil change sounds like a great money-saving, time-saving idea, I've seen enough horror stories and gummed up engines for me to think that it's more of a marketing gimmick than anything else. All right, we've gone through a lot of the noise. We've gone through a lot of options of different brands, different types, different tiers, different products. The question you've all been waiting for is, what oil do we want to put in our car? And the answer is, any of these oils will be just fine. If, and this is very important, if you change it every 5,000 miles. Whether you buy the $15 per quart Royal Purple or the $3.50 per quart Costco oil, they're both gonna perform the same if you're changing them at 5,000 miles. So just keep it simple. A cheap synthetic, change it every 5,000 miles, you're golden. Bonus tip was promised, here it is. What I like to do is use one of these 20,000 mile oil change filters. Now these are a little more expensive, but they are higher engineered to be able to withstand these longer oil change intervals without plugging up. And so I'll still do a 5,000 mile oil change on my vehicle, but I'm gonna use this filter so I don't have to change the oil filter every oil change. So I'll maybe change this every 3 oil changes. This is especially helpful for me on my truck, for example, where getting the oil filter out from underneath is such a pain in the butt. So where I can do 2 oil changes without having to change the filter, I'm loving it. Let us know in the comments how you handle your oil changes. And if you enjoyed this video, you're gonna wanna check out the other one we made on another controversial subject, transmission flushes, should you do them?